It's a little bit of everything. So you have to have an idea what you want to do, but because the game is so difficult, then you need to adapt to the opponent. So similar to football, no, you have a plan, a way that you want to do things, but depending on the other team. So, for example, we play against Manchester City, so you cannot say, "Oh, we will have the possession," because you know that you cannot. Then you have to prepare your game plan depending on that. But if you play against another team and they say, "I will play at home," and we have more quality, we have to have the control, then you have to play to prepare your game plan depending on that. Similar to chess, you have to prepare your ideas and then change depending on the movements of the other team.
Comparing football and chess may sound a little pretentious, but just hold on 1 second. Because at the most fundamental level, football and chess are games that involve using space effectively and getting the timing right in order to break down an opponent's defense, whilst preventing them from breaking down yours. Along with these similarities, both games have very few limiting rules, making them fairly simple, which paradoxically makes them quite complicated to win. We all know the quote, "Playing football is very simple, but playing simple football is the hardest thing there is." I'm sure the same could be said for chess. Football's similarities with chess attract many managers in search for new ideas, like Rafa Benitez and Pep Guardiola. Rafa Benitez is well known for his tactical superiority over other managers, overachieving with Tenerife, Valencia and Liverpool. Overachieving because the clubs exceeded expectations under him. He gained promotion with Tenerife, beating out Atletico Madrid in the 2000-2001 season, even though Tenerife were 14th the year before he arrived. At Valencia, he won the La Liga twice, in the 01-02 season and the 03-04 season. At Liverpool, there's the unbelievable Champions League run through Juventus and Chelsea, who were both top of their leagues, all culminating with the miracle of Istanbul. Pep Guardiola is also a tactically astute manager. In fact, during Guardiola's sabbatical between his job at Barcelona, which he was at for only 4 seasons, winning a staggering 14 trophies, and his eventual move to Bayern Munich, he spent a year in New York and met Garry Kasparov, one of the greatest chess players of all time. They exchanged various ideas, and in fact I'd say that Pep and Rafa Benitez have an adaptive style, like current world champion Magnus Carlsen or world champion Karpov, who Kasparov defeated. Pep less so, however, because he's always had the best players playing under him, recently surpassing 1.5 billion euros of spending in his career. No coach has spent more money or had more money spent for him. Without having to bore you with the tactical similarities between chess and football, I'll focus on the more plausible similarities in mentalities, like Rafa with Karpov, who lean defensively but are more adaptive, and Pep with Carlsen, who are adaptive but are always looking for a calculated way to attack. The extremes, however, are the more interesting, like the ultra-defensive styles of chess grandmaster Tigran Petrosian. I mean, just look at this position. Even if you don't know anything about chess, you can probably see that there are practically no chances for the opponents in black. Tigran matching the Greek side which won the European Championships in 2004. Under Otto Rehagel, Otto defending his style of play by saying, his strategy is modern football because modern football is about winning. Matching a similar quote by Petrosian himself about his games being more interesting, but he could make his games more interesting and lose. Another defensive match would of course be Diego Simeone and Michal Botvinnik, who just sit back and wait for an opponent's mistake, then counter-attack ruthlessly. But enough about adaptive styles or defensive styles. We're interested in all-out attack, even to the point of recklessness. Like the chain-smoking legends Zdenek Zeman, whose teams have always played attractive fluid football, Zemanlandia.
Sparita Zemanlandia. Mo ce la faccio vedere di nuovo.
He focuses a lot on player development, being the one that introduced the world to Francesco Totti, and producing the likes of Lorenzo Insigne, Marco Verratti and Ciro Immobile, who all blossomed under his tutelage later on at Pescara. In an interview with Football Italia, Zeman was quoted as saying, "If you score 90 goals, it shouldn't really worry you how many goals are conceded. You play the same way, whether home or away." Sounds eerily similar to Tao's quote, "To play for a draw at any rate with white is to some degree a crime against chess." Tao played in an attacking and daring style. His play was known above all for improvisation and unpredictability. Tao's attacking style prevailed over the more defensive Botvinnik in their 1960 World Chess Championship match, but he lost the title the next year in a rematch. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Zeman's free-flowing football, only winning 2 Serie B titles. Probably because even though his team scored the most, they usually conceded the most as well. Begs the question, is defense the most consistent way to win titles in any sport? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Many football players and not just coaches have been known to play chess as well, going as far back as Didi to Trent Alexander-Arnold more recently, who played against world chess champion Magnus Carlsen, who is coincidentally, or not so coincidentally, one of the best fantasy football players, being able to reach first place. Trent's match with Magnus was in 2018, and Trent lost after 15 moves. That was still 6 moves better than Bill Gates. Magnus beating him in just 6 moves. Links to both those games will be in the description if you're interested. First, the game with Bill Gates, and the second, a review of Trent's game with Magnus. Tifo Football also have an interesting video about Magnus becoming fantasy football champion, which I'll also link in the description down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.